No new injuries from Wednesday.
Gio's still not available.
No, not even close.
And Gareth?
We have a training session in the afternoon to see if he feels ready or not.
How is he? Because there seemed to be some confusion about him posting a photograph on Instagram saying training went well, but telling the medical staff he wanted to stay with them and not be in the squad for Everton.
Well, I hope that the press conference is about the game and not about individuals. But I have to admit that his post was create a need of being addressed, because was a contradiction between the post and the reality. And since the beginning of the season, in relation to everything, I try to be very, very private and try to keep everything indoors. But I felt that I needed to address the situation. Probably the post was not even his responsibility. I don't know, but the post was showing that training session great. So I'm ready, and was totally wrong. So when I was questioned, I had to say the reality of the things, which I repeat for the last time, and I hope that there are no more questions about it, because the situation was exactly the way I told. He was not feeling good. He asked for a scan. He had the scan. The scan didn't show an injury, but his feelings were still there. And coaches and sports science and medical people, we can never go against the feelings, because the players' feelings are much more important than all of us. So he was not ready for the game, and it's as simple as that. If he's ready for tomorrow, he's selected for tomorrow.
Obviously, a long, emotional, physically hard game. Finished very late on Wednesday. Not ideal preparation to go to the leaders.
Yes, but I have to try. I have to try to forget it and try to help my players to forget. Yesterday, when I opened the file of the Everton game data, I open, and in 2 seconds I close it immediately because I didn't want to go through it, and I don't want even to share that with my players. 120 minutes playing, of course, at a high intensity, chasing results, playing very fast and intense football, of course, was very, very hard. Of course, he had have a different squad. They managed to rest the majority of the players because the result was quite comfortable. They could even rest the players during the game and make I don't know if 4 or 5 changes with players that played the previous Premier League match. But I'm not going to speak about this with my players. Is last saying a last match of this very difficult week, and then finally the players can have a day off on Sunday, and then we have only Austria on Thursday, which give us a little bit of the rest that the boys need. But today, that's not a conversation between me and them. Today is just trying to rest and to recover the better we can to be tomorrow at the best level that we can.
Thanks, Jose.
Thank you, Gary.
Okay, next person up we will go to. James, did you want any questions? You haven't got your hand up. James Savundra, TalkSport. Yes, no? No?
Thanks,
Okay.
Simon. Hi, Jose.
Hello.
Jose, Man City are on an incredible run, 14 straight victories. Would you go as far as saying it's one of the toughest challenges in world football to try and stop them and beat them tomorrow?
They are a very good team. They are a very, very good team with a fantastic run of results. No doubts about that. It's always difficult to play against Man City. That's no doubt. There is nothing new about it. They are probably now the biggest candidate to win the title, which is not a big surprise.
In terms of your own relationship with Pep Guardiola, how has it evolved now you're no longer direct rivals like you were in Spain or when you were both managers of Manchester clubs?
Is the problem with us coaches is that it's not easy to develop or to cultivate friendships or to develop relations, because we don't see each other. We see each other before game 2 minutes and after game other 2 minutes, and it's difficult. But with Pep, I keep the 3 years where we worked together. We saw each other every day. We celebrate together the titles that we won. We didn't cry, but we were disappointed together when we lost something important. Great periods of our lives, him as a player and myself as a young assistant. And that's what, of course, I keep. After that, I can have only good feelings with him. I don't have any bad feeling. Football matches, football problems, if you want to call them, for me, I'm from the generation where what happens in a football match stays in a football match, and I have only positive feelings and good respect. There are moments in life where we don't forget things. One of the things I don't forget was when my father died. He knew how important my dad was to me, so he had a call. By the way, today would be my dad's birthday. Would be 83 today. And of course, when his mom died, I replied the same way. So there are things that people don't see. We don't need to share. I'm sharing because I have now the opportunity, but I only have good memories of him when we worked together.
Just finally from me, Jose, Eric Dyer's missed the last 2 matches. You suggested that he's maybe struggling with confidence at the moment. What are you doing to try and get him back to the levels which he's shown already this season?
First of all, let me tell you, because sometimes people can have different perceptions of things, and if I'm not wrong on my stats, since the beginning of the season, Eric started 20 matches. Alderweireld started 19 matches, and Davinson Sanchez started 17 matches. So equal opportunities for everybody, and that's it. And football players, they always want to play, and sometimes they cannot always play. But in this case, of course, young Joe Rodon is in a different process than the others, but the others, they had equal opportunities. We did many times, Eric and Toby. We did many times, Eric and Davison. We did many times, Toby and Davison. So opportunities there for everybody. They play basically the same number of matches, and that's it. But Eric, as I was saying, is one of the guys that I really like. You know, Eric is always Eric. If he's playing, if he's not playing, difficult moments, easier moments. The most difficult one was when I substituted him against Olympiacos, minute 25 or 30 or something like that. Since that moment, I understood that the guy was a team player, was a guy that is not selfish, was the guy that is not thinking about him and thinking about the team, accepted that situation like a professional. And I trust him. I trust Eric. I like and I like the feeling of trusting a player. A player makes a mistake, but is a player that I trust, and I like that feeling.
Okay, I've got 3 more hands up. We'll get to all 3 of you. Won't take any more after that from the broadcast. We'll start with Faye.
Hi, Jose. Nice to see you. I just wondered, the team that you played back in November, Manchester City, that you beat, how different do you see this Manchester City, having them gone on this massive run of 15 games unbeaten?
You know, we beat them because we played so well in that match. And that's the only way any team can beat Man City. You have to play very well. You know, you make a defensive mistake and they kill you. You are not very effective in the chances that you create. You don't create many. And you know, you just look to the pragmatism of the numbers. And what is Man City in this moment? Is a team that wins matches, is a team that scores goals, and is a team that doesn't concede goals. So when you play against a team with these very clear pragmatic numbers, you know that is very difficult to stop them to score, because they score all the time. And you know that it's very difficult to score goals because they don't concede. So you have to play a perfect match, like we did when we played them here at home. We played a perfect match, and of course, their level of confidence was not the same. I think results, they bring the best out of the players, and you can feel in this moment that they are a team playing at a very high level.
I know how unhappy you were with the defending. You mentioned closing that book straight away, but what do you need to do defensively on Saturday, and will that inevitably have an effect on the style of the game?
Can you repeat? I didn't understand you very well.
So I know you are unhappy with the defending against Everton, but what will you need to do that therefore have an effect on the style of game? Will you not be able to play as attacking as you did against Everton, against a side like Manchester City?
I'm not speaking about the style. I'm speaking about what a football match is, and a football match sometimes is different than what you think it is. And what makes that difference in terms of perception normally are the goals that you score, the goals that you miss, the goals that you concede, or the goals that you don't concede. I could go with you through the Everton game and analyze with you the nature of the goals that we conceded, but that's not for me to do with you. That's for me to do with the players, which I always do. So if you want to analyze, you have to do by yourselves. You have to go with Carragher, Neville on the Monday night, or Rio and the other guys on BT, or Shearer and Janus and Lineker on BBC. That's that job, and I believe that they do that job very, very well. That's not my job. My job is to do that with my players, which I do all the time. And of course, Everton has very, very good attacking players that they can hurt you when you make mistakes. And Man City has lots of very, very good players from midfield to attacking positions that can hurt you if you make mistakes. That's why I said if we beat them at home 2-0 in the first match of the first part of the season, was because defensively we were very good.
Thanks a lot, Jose. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Okay, Ali Gold.
Hey there, Jose.
Hey, Ali.
I just wanted to ask you quickly about Eric Lamela. I get the impression he's a player that has a lot of the attributes you look for in players. This week he's had 2 very positive games, but obviously over his Tottenham career, let's say, he's had a lot of problems, injury issues. Are we getting to see maybe the best version of Eric Lamela right now?
I think you touch a point, and I just want to confirm a good Lamela I love. You are right. He's the kind of player that I like very much. And the first thing I like on him is that he wants to play. He wants to assume responsibilities. He never hides. He wants the ball. He's a little bit sometimes chaotic, but is a positive reason to be a little bit chaotic, which is I want to play, I want the ball. If the ball is not arriving to me, I have to arrive to the ball. And I love Coco. Of course, when I arrived, his history of injuries was incredible, negative, was very, 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 very hard. Let's touch wood. In this moment, is fit. But of course, a player with his history, he played 90 minutes against... did he play 90 minutes against West Brom? I think so. If he didn't, I think he did. And even more now. So let's see. But honestly, I'm going to ask him, can you play again from the start? Because if he feels he can, of course I play him.
Talking about fitness, I just want to ask you, Serge Aurier and Harry Kane, are they in a position to start tomorrow, both of them?
Yeah, I believe so. Of course, he played 60 minutes or so, which he didn't want, and I didn't want to, but was the game that pushed us in that direction. But no negative feelings after the game, just the normal stiffness, if is the right word. Sometimes I don't say the right word, but I believe so. I believe he can start.
Serge Aurier?
Huh?
Serge Aurier.
Serge. I'm waiting for this afternoon. He's another one that I'm waiting for this afternoon session. He was injured. He was injured against West Bromwich, and he couldn't play against Everton. I don't know if he can tomorrow. I don't know.
Okay, I've got last one from Pedro from Sport TV Portugal. Pedro?
In Portuguese or what?
Find out. Pedro, do you need it in Portuguese?
Hello. We speak in English or Portuguese?
I don't mind one question in Portuguese. Yeah, one question in Portuguese is fine, Pedro.
Easy.
Okay. One question in English also?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, Mr. Pedro Gamito from Sport TV and also from the beautiful city of Setúbal. Yes, I would like to ask you, do you see any weak point in Manchester City game, if there is any?
For them,
Yes, Manchester City game. If you see any weakest point in their game, if there is any nowadays.
no. It's a team that wins every match, scores lots of goals. They don't concede. I think they conceded 3 in so many matches, and one of the 3, I think it was a penalty. I don't see any weakness. That's why I was saying that to win the game, we need to be perfect in every aspect and in every minute, because they are really a very, very strong team.
Muito bem, e só para terminar, uma pergunta em português. O Mister já disse que não fala sobre os erros individuais dos seus jogadores, mas tem sido um padrão ao longo da época, e disse também que contra o City, se fizeres um erro, eles matam-te. Foi essa a sua expressão. Pergunto-lhe como é que se pode dar a volta a esta situação e também, num tom mais ligeiro, se por vezes sente que está numa situação de reféns, uma vez que contra o Everton, por exemplo, vimos um Tottenham muito atacante, muito ofensivo, a jogar um bom futebol atacante, mas mais uma vez teve essa infelicidade de ver erros individuais comprometerem o esforço coletivo. Como é que se dá a volta a isto, sabendo que na Premier League um erro individual significa gol?
O City resolveu esse problema facilmente. E já não digo mais nada, porque vocês sabem como é que eles resolveram o problema deles.
Ok, obrigado, Mister. Boa sorte para sábado. Um abraço.
Tchau. Sabes como é que foi, não sabes?
Estava a tentar perceber. Mas vou discutir aqui com os meus colegas.
Resolveram quando foram aí a Lisboa.
Ok.
Very
Percebido.
good. Okay, thank you very much. That concludes the broadcast part. We'll move on to the written part of the press conference now, which is embargoed.